Hey y'all, it's Sarah, so welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, or maybe you're just tuning in after a long while of not tuning in, I guess you could say, I am a faith-based follower of Jesus Christ, a disciple of Jesus Christ. But I just also want you to know, if you do not believe in Jesus, you don't know what you believe in, or you're just trying to figure that out, please don't feel like that you can't be here. I want this to be a safe and encouraging place for each and every one of you, that we all can come together, learn, heal, and grow together, however that may look for you. I don't want to ever come across as judgmental or come across that you can't be here, because I have not shared my whole story and testimony online, but I have shared some things here and there. And trust me, I know that it may seem like that you are alone, or maybe somebody like me may not understand, but trust me, I may not get or understand everything out there, but I just want you to know that you're not alone, and you are loved, and you are cared for, and I probably maybe understand more than what you may realize. Just because somebody doesn't post everything about their life or what they've been through online doesn't mean that they don't care or that they don't understand. So let's throw that out there. That was just kind of free in some aspects to just kind of roll with today. I did not plan to actually film this video today, but I just kind of had the thought to go ahead and film this, and I guess it's kind of a little bit ironic because I'm wearing a shirt in support of a show that I really love. That's not relevant to this video today, but I have another testimony video for you all today, and if you want to check out other testimonies, it will be on the same playlist that I'm adding this on, and it is going to be another video called God Didn't Forget Part 2. If you have not seen the previous one, Part 1, I guess you could say, about the Babe Ruth testimony, is on this playlist as well if you're interested in going back to that. I don't know that this will be an actual like series or like a playlist. I think for now it'll just stay under testimonies. I was actually, as I was on a break from social media and everything, just processing for video ideas, what I, feeling led to post or talk about, this came to mind, and I actually hadn't had this idea. So I hope that this, not just this video, but I hope you can find encouragement, hope, whatever it may be. Most importantly, Jesus. But if you're, like I said, if you're still on that fence and you're just trying to, I guess, figure things out, because I've been there, done that, I hope that you can be encouraged. And I just want you to know, as a moment of vulnerability, when I come on here and share these stories, these videos, I'm not always just talking to like the crowd or who may or may not come across this video. Sometimes I'm even talking to myself, or a reminder to myself as well. And this God Didn't Forget story testimony is actually something that just happened almost a year ago, and I'm trying to figure out where has time gone. And so if you're not familiar with who the Kratt brothers are, Chris and Martin Kratt, they had a show as I was growing up called Zoboomafoo, and they are pretty great guys. They're brothers. I don't know much about like their personal life, and I can't think of exactly like what degrees and stuff they have in, and I think if I even tried, I'd probably mess it up. So go ahead and go to Google, type in Chris and Martin Kratt, Zoboomafoo. Now they have a show called Wild Kratts. Man, how things have changed. But as I was growing up, Zoboomafoo was a good part of my childhood. I talk about nostalgia, however you want to say it. That really brings back some nostalgic, just thinking about Zoboomafoo, us as kids. My little sister is a big Kratt Brothers fan. She loves Zoboomafoo growing up as well. And it really just takes me back to, being a young girl, watching Zoboomafoo and with some of my, friends at the time. And it's just real nostalgic, and it was a good part of my childhood. You think about how, often we can think about the hard times of our childhood or our past or whatever, but, those sense of great times and great memories that come to mind, you hold on to them and you can just smile and think, man, this moment or this season of my life or whatever it may be was crazy, but these good times. So this is 2026, and so fall of 2024, and see, this was a hard secret to keep in for a long time. The Wild Kratts, Chris and Martin Kratt, they were going on this tour, and I don't know how often they do this. I think they are actually on tour again. And they do like a live Wild Kratts show. It's really neat. So if you're able to, even if you're not able to actually meet them, if you're able to like go to a Wild Kratts show, I highly recommend it and suggest it if you are able to, no matter how old or young you are, especially if you're an older person. I guess I'm a baby millennial, So I'm 31 as I post this, so I don't, I'm not real old, but I'm not real young either, I guess you could say. My sister and I were very blessed with an opportunity to be able to go to a Wildcat show, and we were able to get tickets in the fall. And, being able to hold it in for what felt like a long time. And April of 2024 came around. And like I said, I just still can't believe how much time has passed. My sister and I were very blessed to be able to meet the Chris and Martin Kratt after the show. We got a little VIP goodie bag and got to talk to them, get pictures with them and their autograph. As you can see in the thumbnail, the picture I have with Chris and Martin Kratt. And I'm still telling you today, almost a year later, thinking about it, I still can't believe that it happened. And getting to talk to, some of my, what I call my childhood heroes, and I know I'm not the only one that said that about people that, helped, you grew up with, or even that, in my words, helped raise you, being on TV. Think about, as I'm telling this story, getting to see Chris and Martin Kratt live and in person, get to meet them and talk to them. As I've gotten older, of course, zoboomafoo don't air, I don't think, anymore. I don't know if you have cable or not. If it does, I can't confirm or deny that. But I know, on Prime and, Wildcrats, that now airs. I sit here and think, how I really, had watched zoboomafoo in maybe, I guess you could say years. God didn't forget. God didn't forget as a young child of how much these two meant to me as a small child, as a person that, admired their shows, zoboomafoo, what they did, what they talked about with animals, and the lessons that you learn, and the things and information that they shared. Now, being a young adult, getting to finally meet them in person, if you would have told my younger self that, you're going to get to meet the Kratt brothers when you're older, I would have told you, I don't know about that. Are you crazy? I would have probably not believed you. But it was a moment of, God did not forget. God didn't forget how much these two meant to me and how much these people impacted my life. And then now here, all these years later, I finally get to meet them. I don't know if I'll ever get to meet them again. I don't know if I'll ever see them again on this side of eternity. But God didn't forget. And I hope that I can remind you and encourage you. And I'm talking to myself as I say this as well. If you're in a waiting season, and I'm not saying this was a waiting season, to meet them. But I know we're all probably in some kind of waiting season. Maybe we're waiting for a transition to a job, or, moving to a different place. It's a long list of different things it could be. But if you're in the waiting season, maybe the Lord spoke something to you. Maybe, God revealed something to you that's going to happen sometime in your life, and it still hasn't come to pass yet, and you're getting discouraged, and you're kind of okay, Lord, is this ever going to happen? Just be reminded and encouraged that God didn't forget, and He won't forget. As I shared with the Babe Ruth testimony, that I briefly talked about earlier in this video, God didn't forget how much Babe Ruth meant to me. And then all these years later, I got to, visit the Yankee Stadium and all that stuff, how much the Kratt brothers meant to me growing up. And now here, so many years later, getting to meet them and talk to them and tell them how much their show impacted me and how much I enjoyed growing up with it and watching zoboomafoo and all this stuff. That may seem so small, but please be reminded and know that God didn't forget, and God won't forget. God is so good and God is so kind. And I know that there are things in my life personally that I'm in the waiting season for. And I would be lying to you if I didn't say, man, is this ever going to happen? Lord, did I hear you wrong? Did I discern you wrong? However, just that long list of stuff. But God didn't and won't forget. And I tell you, it was long worth the wait, getting to meet them all these years later, being older, being able to remember and have that such great experience. And I hope that this video encouraged you. I don't come on here to try to brag or boast or anything like that, because Lord knows I don't ever want anything to get to my head. If you don't take anything else away from this video, just know that God didn't and won't forget. I'm telling myself that too as well. So, as I've shared this video today of getting to meet the Kratt brothers, such an amazing experience I had with my sister. That is a memory that I'll never forget as long as I live. And I'm just very, very blessed and very grateful at that I got to have this opportunity of a lifetime. I try not to take any opportunity like that lightly, because you just never know. Like, that was maybe a one in a lifetime chance. When God opens up doors of opportunity and you know He's on it, walk right in it. And I'm telling you, in some aspects that was a step of faith. Not really to go into detail of all that, but I know God's hand was on it and things moved really smoothly and like clockwork. So thank you all again so much for being here today, listening to this testimony about getting to meet the Crap Brothers. So if you guys enjoyed this, was encouraging to you, if you have any video ideas, please comment them down below. You can DM me on Instagram, Facebook. All my links to my social media accounts will be down below in the description box if you're interested. I upload on the first Wednesday and third Wednesday of the month, unless noted otherwise, and I usually try to post about it or put it in the description box down below. So again, thank you so much for being here today. I love y'all and appreciate you all very, very much. Thank you again for being here. I'll see you in my next new video. Bye.